Hello everybody, I'm Super Cold Chaos and we will be playing Street Fighter X Megaman. Today I have with me a special guest commentator. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Tanner. You might know me from my own channel, Goodbye 18,000, but I also do stuff for the Sonic Show.
Yes! So Tanner, do you want to give us a little bit of information about this game?
Alright, so as you guys probably know, Capcom really doesn't like Mega Man as of recently. But, in sort of, they wanted to apologize a bit, so they released, for the 25th anniversary, Street Fighter X Megaman. Now, Street Fighter X Megaman is actually a fan game that was kind of... Capcom took it on as saying, oh yeah, we'll officially release this for you, as a way of apologizing to the fans.
Thank you for that, and we'll be starting things off with Chun-Li, I'd say one of the most well-known female characters in gaming history.
Very much so, yes, if only for her massive thighs.
Oh yeah, and a few other massive objects.
That depends on the game though, but yes.
Yes. Now, as far as controls go, this game plays a lot more like, I think it was Mega Man 3 that had the Charge Buster and the Slide.
Yes. Now, this game does not have the Rush Jet or Rush Coil, am I right?
Well, the game kind of has the Rush Coil. It doesn't work the same way as you remember it, but it does definitely have it.
Alright. So, if you looked earlier, which we kind of didn't, right there.
Yeah.
The enemies in the stage are actually also based off of Yun and Yang, two more Street Fighter characters, and I thought that was nice.
Yes, well known from the Street Fighter 3 series, and they have also made reappearances in Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition.
And yes, they're well known because they are, quite before the 2012 patch, they were quite powerful.
Oh,
in
yeah.
fact, one might say overpowerful.
Well, I mean, they did come from Street Fighter 3, probably one of the better fighting games.
Oh, yes, and most technical for sure.
And
so, Bradley, are you more of a Street Fighter or Mega Man fan, would you say?
I would probably say I'm a little bit leaning more towards Mega Man. I've played more of the Mega Man games, I own more Mega Man games, but I do enjoy me some Street Fighter.
Well, the thing is, though, if you don't count re-releases, there's a lot more Mega Man games than Street Fighter games.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Mega Man games, the obvious joke is that they're basically the same thing. It's just more of add-ons with every game. Like, you know, more
That's
bosses,
true,
more
yeah.
stages.
And here we come up to our first boss,
Yes.
Chun-Li.
Now, Street Fighter bosses work a little differently than normal bosses. Like normal bosses, they have their fair share of weapons, but as you may notice, they also have a little bar that grows as you hit them. This is taken from Street Fighter 4, which is the Revenge Meter. When it fills up all the way, they'll be able to use an Ultra Attack. It does a lot of damage, and it generally fills up most of the screen. You're definitely going to see Chun-Li's throughout the fight.
Now, one thing that's also different from the original 8-bit games is that, well, in the 8-bit games, every single boss has a strategy. In this game, what actually happens is the AIs either do moves at random or react to your movements. Not so much to the point of when you jump, they attack. It's more like if you jump a lot, they'll do more aerial-type attacks. It's still random.
Now, I actually used an E-Tank for a very good reason. You see, when you defeat a boss at full health, you get a perfect. Now, you need perfects in order to beat the super secret final boss at the end.
It wouldn't be a Capcom fighting game sort of thing without a super secret final boss.
Mm-hmm. And another thing to note is that if you actually die to a boss when they use their Ultra Attack, you'll actually get a little fireworks display in the background, as if you lost to a Ultra Attack in the Street Fighter games.
Now, I notice you're playing without a helmet. Would you care to explain about that?
Yes, this is actually a cheat code. If I'm correct, the way you do this is that you hover over Ryu in the boss select screen. You hold down fire, and you hit right twice, and then left. You'll hear a ping, and you'll see Mega Man without his helmet. And now for the next boss, will be you going up against Crimson Viper.
Oh, yes. A character that's also from Street Fighter 4, rather, and the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 games.
Yes, although oddly enough, she isn't in Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, I found that really interesting, but I thought, you know, after putting her in Ultimate Marvel, people would have thought that they're oversaturating her.
Well, I mean, she is a very popular character, especially for one that's so new.
Very much so, yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's actually something that I forgot to mention during the Chun-Li stage, is that if you listen to the music in this game, it's actually 8-bit remixes of the character's stage theme. If I'm correct...
It's their stage theme, but also mixed up with with Mega Man song, if I recall.
Yeah, some fanfare. And if I'm correct, this is actually Crimson Viper's rival tune, if you're actually fighting her rival in Street Fighter 4.
Yep.
I don't usually play as Crimson Viper, so I don't really pay attention to her music as much.
She's kind of fun to play. She's in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 very technical. So actually one interesting thing is that she in this game uses some of her moves from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as opposed to Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see them taking influences from all sorts of Capcom media.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of this game in a nutshell. It's fanfare for Street Fighter fans and fanfare for Mega Man fans.
Exactly. And honestly, there were some people angry about this game because it's not a Capcom-done project. It was just one that Capcom said, yeah, totally will allow you to, publish this and stuff. There were people angry at the fact that it wasn't done by Capcom because they're saying, well, Capcom still doesn't love Mega Man.
I don't know. They've been talking about wanting to do more games. I mean, they recently had a poll talking about what the fans wanted to see, and some of the major questions they asked for the Mega Man portion was like, do you want to see re-releases of old games? Do you want to see new games? Do you want to see games remade with HD graphics?
I'm gonna be honest. There was an option for an HD Battle Network game. I hit very much agree so hard I think I broke my iPhone.
Oh yeah, I'm not really that much of a Battle Network fan. I was more of an X fan.
See, Battle Network was what got me into Mega Man. Well, I saw the X commercials on TV as a kid, and I loved the idea of them, and I had one friend who would tell me all about it. I never got a chance to play them because my first console was the GameCube, and as we know, there wasn't many Mega Man games on that.
Actually, it was the first Mega Man X game. I think was actually my first game I ever played as a kid.
First game I played as a kid was E.T. for the Atari.
Now, there's actually one thing I noticed that's kind of interesting about Mega Man when he uses Chun-Li's lightning kick. If you notice his color scheme, he actually has the same colors as Bad Box Art Mega Man from Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious, I have to admit.
Well, actually, that was a color from Mega Man 1. That was Electman's color when you used the Electman weapon. I forget what it's called. Lightning Thunderbeam or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I'm keeping in deaths because this game is already really short. So I figure, deaths will give us more time to talk about the game.
Yeah, and honestly, I understand playing through without deaths, but it's a hard game, and
it's not really that hard. Compared to classic Mega Man games.
Yeah, well, compared to classic Mega Man games, but still, it is a bit of a challenging game, and there's no shame in getting hit and dying.
Yeah.
So you can see here that this one super that she did there, that was actually one of her supers from the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 games.
And I'm assuming the eye lasers is also from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, because I do not remember her using those in Super Street Fighter 4.
Yes, that was actually an attack added in for Ultimate Marvel. It wasn't in the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It was added in Ultimate Marvel, and it's done by holding down the heavy attack button and charging it like a Mega Buster almost, which I find ironic.
Yeah.
That said, it's extremely useless.
So I want to thank you guys for watching, and next time we're going to take on more bosses in Street Fighter Cross Mega Man. See you later.
See ya.